There are nearly 2 weeks left until Donald J. Trump is inaugurated as President of the United States. And already we're hearing about the first big battle with Congress, not over his legislative agenda, but over his cabinet appointments. That's because Senate Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, their new leader, are threatening to block up to a dozen Trump appointees. They're going to use this Wednesday, when multiple hearings are scheduled for the confirmation of some of those nominees, as a choke point. They're saying they don't want to have multiple hearings. They want to have them one at a time, strung out over time, which of course would mean that most of those nominations would not be ready for a floor vote come Inauguration Day. There's a little bit of risk to that strategy. First of all, because there's not much the Democrats can do unilaterally to block those nominations. That's because of a rule change back in 2013 brought on by none other than Harry Reid. I'm guessing that they are thinking about what they wished for back then. But they can do a lot to gum up the works and throw some sand into the process's machinery. And that's apparently what they're going to do, using obscure rules to try to slow down the process and maybe even send the Senate into recess. But there's a big risk for the Democrats there. And that's because they've been talking about an obstructionist Congress for the last 8 years as their chief talking point. It's not going to augur well for them to have the American people looking at them as obstructionists at the very beginning of a Trump administration. It was Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's running mate, who said that a president is due deference on cabinet appointments. And that's certainly what Barack Obama got. Hillary Clinton was confirmed by a 94-2 vote the day after he was to take office. Ditto with John Kerry. Even Eric Holder, pretty controversial guy, sailed through the nomination process. So there aren't going to be a dozen that the Democrats block. They might go with 1 or 2 or 3, most likely Jeff Sessions, Rex Tillerson, maybe Betsy DeVos. But again, look at the history of those things. Was Hillary Clinton less controversial than Rex Tillerson, or Eric Holder more controversial than Jeff Sessions? You figure it out for yourself. The Betsy DeVos thing, frankly, is just because of the teachers' unions. The big fights are going to be over the Supreme Court. That's where that 2013 rule doesn't hold, and Republicans are thinking about maybe extending it. That might be a mistake on their part. The inauguration hasn't even taken place yet, and already the games are beginning. Fun to watch. And that's the best 60-ish seconds of your week.